Hello and welcome to another weekly vlog. I didn't film yesterday being Monday. Today is Tuesday. I'm going into my mum's. Isaac is here. I am taking him up to his friend Ruben's. He's going up for the afternoon. So I'm dropping him on my way. Nothing much else to tell you. We're supposed to be doing something for Robert's birthday, but his mum still hasn't told us what's going on. It's weird. She texted the people invited to say I'm doing something but I don't know what I'm doing. Then she asked us what we thought that they should do, and then she asked us when we thought that they should do it. Upshot is nobody knows when she's doing anything, and people that want to arrange other stuff for themselves don't feel they can in case she picks this weekend. So Isaac was supposed to be going for a day out on Saturday with Ruben. Next week we'll have Ruben over for an afternoon, and then we'll organise a day out, you know, maybe for the week after or something.
Yeah, and next week I'm going to Daniel's house on Tuesday.
Are you?
Yeah.
Right, well I didn't know that. Has he asked it? Oh right, he hasn't asked. That's that thing about that game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, well next Tuesday I'm going to be going into Grandma's as usual, so...
You can drop me from there.
Yeah, but I can't dictate what time I'm dropping you at someone's house at.
Oh yeah.
I can't say, right, well I'm leaving him at this time. So we'll see. Summer is like... It's raining again, is the routine of putting everything around Isaac's social life and my mum. It's like, I did one thing for myself, which was wrestling, and it rained all day on us. So it is, I think, the 17th today. So a month yesterday, 16th of August, we will be going to Orlando. Hopefully it'll be a nice...
I think the day before yesterday. It's 18th.
Is it the 18th today? Right, so it's
Even closer.
yeah. So hopefully that'll be good. Hopefully it'll feel like last time, and like, you know, that little bubble of stress-free stuff. I've never really experienced that on a holiday before. You know, I had no preoccupation with normal stuff. I think because it feels so different. You know, I'm only used to sort of going on holiday. Like when I grew up, we went on holiday just in the south of Ireland for a week, which is what people still mainly do. I know Ruben's already been away for a week, and I think that was just to see his grandparents in Ireland. Dylan and Caden are away at the minute. They've just gone to the west of Ireland.
Daniel's just been to Scotland.
So people tend to hear holiday just in the south of Ireland or Scotland or maybe England or something. So I doubt we'll be doing Disney again after this time, because it's so it's more expensive this time than it was last time, and last time it was flipping expensive because I've gone the wrong way. I'm driving to Daniel's house. Oh, Jesus Christ. I can't go this way, can I?
I don't know.
Alright, I'm going to have to turn around. Jesus Christ. I should have put the sat-nav on. I'm not going to remember where I'm going.
I might.
Jesus, that shows you what I'm thinking of. He's talking about Daniel, so I'm driving towards Daniel's house instead of Ruben's. Right, I'm going to switch off and concentrate. I will check in with you later. Hello. I've just dropped Isaac off. I think I go right here. Right, no.
Now turn right.
Yeah. Right, so I've just dropped Isaac. This is country roads, take me home.
The route guidance will start now.
I can mute that. Hang on.
Guidance will be at this.
Does that go away again now? Yeah. It's shocking having to put on sat nav to get to your child's friends' houses, but they're like out right in the middle of the countryside. So I like this road. I like this. Wait till I turn around, let you see. Look at all the trees. Isn't that pretty? Alright, I have someone up my arse now. I turned round. Sorry, I know you've got my hand over the top. I turned the camera around and more or less stopped because this road's completely empty to show you the nice trees. And now there's a van up my arse. And it's gonna wobble. I need to fasten this. I'll have to wait till I stop, guys. Right, I don't know if that'll stay or not. We'll see. I haven't tightened it with both hands because I can't until I stop driving. So yeah, that's Isaac dropped off at Ruben's house till just after tea time. I'm going into my mum's. She wants to go to Dunelm to get a new voile for her front door, or not front door. There's like a glass sliding door into the bathroom, and she wants to get a new voile for that. So that's what we'll be doing today. I think there's like a little cafe also in Dunelm, so she can maybe have a little coffee. And then there's Jolly's beside, so I know she needs a couple of bits for the budgie, so we can go in and pick them up as well. Right, what are we doing? Woo, there's a tractor, look. Or not tractor, a lawnmower. Or maybe it was a quad. Right, now the world and their fucking dogs coming up this road, and it's, look, this is, I do apologise, the unprofessionalism is staggering, as is always. You don't expect anything less from me though. Right, I'm getting to the main road at the bottom. I don't really think of anything else much to tell you. Social worker visit for this week was cancelled because she needs to do some more looking into the process with Dalriada MS unit, which is what we've decided to go with. 2 weeks respite, you know, scheduled like every few months. Well, if she likes it the first time. But they're talking about August, and obviously we're away on the 16th to the 30th, and I don't want it being while we're away because I know my dad won't be able to drive up to Ballycastle. He won't be able to manage the packing stuff. If they need to name label stuff, he won't be able to manage all that. So it really needs to be while I'm at home. So we'll have to see. I've asked Darren just to leave a message with the receptionist to tell her before she speaks to them, look, if at all possible, would even rather wait till September than do it this month, because my dad is not a confident driver. He very rarely, the only place he drives really is places extremely local to the shops, and like he wouldn't really even drive through the town centre or anything. He can't drive at night because the lights, he can't see very well with, I don't mean he's got bad eyesight, but lights at night dazzle him. He struggles with that. So he's just not a confident driver because he hasn't driven that much in his life, to be honest. So anyway, I'm waffling now, I'm talking rubbish. I'm gonna go, guys. Last week's was, and the weeks before were long enough vlogs. I'm sure you could do with a short one from me. So I shall, there was a goat there scratching its bum on the fence. That was funny. It reminds me of Bare Necessities, which I want to sing, but I won't. Right, I shall catch up with you guys later. Oh, I've done something with the exposure on this camera, on this phone, and I have no idea what I've done, but it's not right. Right, I sent Darren a text that said, I'm just leaving now. I won't phone, because I usually phone to say I'm on my way. And he sent me a bloody text. Is there anything I want to wait? He knows I'm driving. How am I supposed to answer that? Right, I've worked it out. Worked out what to do with exposure. I had to pull over, honestly. So I phoned, see my Arthur. I phoned Darren back. So I took my mum downtown. Had to get 2 pair of glasses tightened up in boots. She keeps stretching them to get them on her face. We went to Primark. She got my dad a t-shirt. What else? We went to B&M, bought a few bits and bobs that we needed. Yeah, I know what. I knew I switched it on to tell you. No, this isn't very exciting. My dad's next door neighbour. If you're a religious watcher of my vlogs, you will know that she has cats. But she does not look after her cats properly. Previously, me and Darren have had to take them to the vets to get antibiotics because when they're ill, she just leaves them. She always asks my dad to feed them when she goes on holiday. Her latest holiday that she's on at the moment is 4 weeks in Greece. Rather than pay for a cattery, she has my dad go in and feed them twice a day, every day. 2 cats. And she did it last time and she's done it again this time. She hasn't left them enough food for the 4 weeks. She leaves them enough food for, like, I think there's like a week and a day that they've got no food for, so we've just had to go and buy more food. It's just such a cheek because I know how much catteries cost. I'm so envious of people with family that can look after their pets. I mean, Molly and Dobby are sharing a kennel, but is it the same cost as 1 dog? No. Is it just a little bit more than 1 dog? No. It's the cost for 1 dog multiplied by 2, even though they're in the same kennel. It's costing us £500 to board Molly and Dobby for 2 weeks, and we have to provide their own food. So that they aren't feeding them. Basically all they're doing, they walk them, which is good, and obviously they house them in the kennel, and they're sharing the same kennel and run. £500 for 2 weeks, guys. So I dread to think how much a month in a cattery would have cost her for her 2 cats. But that she'll have my dad feed them, but she won't leave them enough food to feed them, which I think is such a cheek. I can't even get my head around it. But yeah, so I got my mum out to run. My dad's doctor called. I answered the phone. He was in bed, and he kept like hemming and hawing. I really need to speak to him. I says, do you want me to go and wake him up? Well, the thing is, I really need to see him. So I made an appointment for him as soon as he'd got one, and then I thought, to hell with this, I got him out of bed and I made him call the doctors back, and the receptionist was not helpful at all. He says, the doctor's called, I believe he wants to speak to me. Oh, well, I can see you've got an appointment booked for next week. And I'm in the background, ask them about your bloods. He had bloods done. And she said, I could only hear a little bit of what she said, but it sounds like the bloods were okay. I did hear her say, is that your daughter in the background? So Gobby, Lisa, she can hear me. His bloods, I think, are okay, but something in the fecal poo sample is elevated. Now, I couldn't hear what that is, and he didn't know what that was. He wouldn't even, I mean, why would you not ask? Something was elevated. So I don't know if that, I remember Darren getting a result and something was elevated and it was prostate, but I think that was a blood test. I don't think that something to do with your prostate would show up in a stool sample. When you hear stool sample, the first thing you think is cancer. So he has to go, the doctor wants to see him, but the first appointment I could get for him is Tuesday of next week, so a week away. And I'm hoping that means it's not something really, although I don't know what it's like now, I really don't. So he's going back on Tuesday of next week. Darren went to have his skin thing looked at in hospital today. Specialist, we've been waiting for the appointment for a month and a half. Specialist doesn't know what it is. She said it's in unusual shape. It does feel unusual, like it's rough. There are a few cells that she's not entirely sure about. So now he is on a second waiting list to have a biopsy taken, and then he's probably going to have it removed, with depending on what comes back in the biopsy, which is exactly what the skin specialist said they would do, that we paid to see. So fingers crossed, gets all sorted out. Like into my mum's today, and there was that this morning with Darren's thing, and then my dad's doctor on the phone, and my brain's going cancer, and then the social worker on the phone about my mum's respite, and I can't have her go in when I'm not here because my dad can't cope organising stuff on his own. Dear God, it makes me wonder if I had a bloody stayed in England where I was, how would they have managed? But I don't know. If Darren's mum was still alive, we would have still been in England. We would have stayed there. when she passed, the whole family just completely fell to an arse. His dad became a just absolute prick, unmarried, just a very self-involved, selfish lady. And ladies may be polite. It's so weird how an entire family can turn upside down when one person is removed. Like the keystone, they say the cornerstone. And Darren's mum, very much lovely woman, very much was the cornerstone in that family, and she reined Darren's dad back a lot when he was being an arse. She would tell him, look, you're not funny, stop it. Darren needs that sometimes, because a lot of people, if you're watching this, Kelly, you'll be laughing because you'll know exactly what I mean. Darren's a lot of people don't know how to take him because I'm not that close now, come on. What's going on? The cars are travelling really slow. A lot of people don't know how to take Darren because he's very blunt, he's very sarcastic, and most people, when they meet him, before they know him, they really don't take to him at all. It probably doesn't come out very much on video because you just get the odd witty remark here and there. Kelly, if you're watching, you'll know exactly what I mean. When Kelly first met Darren, she didn't like him at all. You did tell us that, in case you forgot. You thought he was, I think you said pretentious. I can't remember what the word was you used, but I remember it making me laugh. But yeah, he's, in some respects, he's very much a chip off the old block, in that Darren needs a certain type of woman to steer him, like his dad needed. Like, Darren wouldn't think to check on people, he wouldn't think to, oh, it's such and such's birthday, I need to get them a card. He wouldn't bother with Christmas. You know, he doesn't remember stuff like that, and he wouldn't make effort to stay in touch with people. I think that's a very, I'm not being sexist, there's a lot of men I know not like that, especially like guys I know on YouTube in the movie community are very good like that. But most men I know from here and from Yorkshire are very much like, the woman does all the work with regards to socialising, arranging things, birthdays, Christmases, just to get, I mean, this is an example. We used to go, when we first moved back, we would go every summer to visit, and just after more jibes and more sarcastic comments and more just uncomfortable situations, you know, when you get to the point where you think, enough, I got to that point, and I thought, you know what, I'm making no effort to organise it again. Why should I be making the effort to organise these trips? It's not my family, and every time I go, they seem to do the best they can to make me feel uncomfortable. It almost seems like they do it on purpose. It's so rude. And since I made that decision to allow him to arrange stuff, he hasn't arranged it, and I don't think we've been to Yorkshire to visit, Jesus, maybe 6 years. It's been a long time, pre-COVID definitely. Darren went over for his grand's funeral. He didn't really want Isaac going over to the funeral, and obviously I had to stay with Isaac, so that'll probably have gone down like a lead balloon that I didn't travel over for the funeral. But since I've stopped making that effort, there's been no effort made, and I think Darren and his dad are very similar in that regard. They're very like, anything for a quiet life, let's just float along. I will allow whoever I'm with to dictate everything that happens, and if you're with someone that's an arsehole, then it turns you into an arsehole. And unfortunately, Darren's dad's with a woman that's an arsehole, and that has just, now his behaviour and hers is very similar, and they do things like dressing up for mystery murder weekends and sing karaoke and sit outside cafes and drink. Things that, like, for some people might be entirely normal, but Darren's dad used to take the piss out of people that did amateur dramatics and would have died before he'd have done karaoke, and used to call people that would sit outside cafes drinking coffee ponces and things like that. I don't think that for a second. That's not my thoughts. That's the kind of guy he is. But now he does all these things because she does all these things, and the most important thing on their calendar is church and their church friends and everything that they do for church. I could talk for ages, I'm not going to, I've talked enough. But how did that happen? How did that start? No idea. No idea. So yeah, we haven't been to Yorkshire in years, and I personally have no intention in going back to visit, no interest. Because it's like, ugh, I don't like them. I don't know what other way to put it. I don't like them. They never do anything for us. You know, they've no interest in Isaac. They'll write things on Facebook for people to see, like, oh, I'm really proud of you when he does something. Why send a card in the post then to tell him you're proud of him, put a 20 quid note in it, send him something, send him a little gift. I mean, she'll be watching at some stage. Kelly and Dave, they're Isaac's godparents. And I mean, every birthday, every Christmas, every Easter, every Halloween, there's something sent for Isaac. And I mean, his grandparents, I have no interest in him whatsoever. And what upsets me is I know that Darren's mum would have doted over him because she lived for her grandkids. She loved her grandkids. She obviously had 3. Darren's brother has a son and 2 daughters. They're all grown now. But she fussed over those kids so much. She had them all the time. But when Isaac was born, we had to book a night out to the cinema in the diary for them to have him, and then they would just guilt trip us, oh well, we wanted to do this, but then I checked the diary and I saw that we'd agreed to have Isaac, and they make a big song and dance about it. So in the end I thought, fuck you, I'm not asking you again. You know, it's like a favour to look after your grandson for a couple of hours. I mean, forget overnight, forget anything like that. So I mean, we haven't had any, like, I suppose, couple time without Isaac since Isaac was born. None. The only time we get any time to ourselves is when Isaac's at one of his friends' houses, because obviously my parents can't look after them because they're not up to it. We can, if we want to go to a gig or something, leave him at their house and he busies himself, and we've only done that once, which was for leaving Overmore. But they're just selfish, and I cannot be doing with selfish people that just think about themselves. But then Darren always says to me, you need to be more selfish and put yourself first and not think about others, but I struggle with that. I mean, Darren will always choose what suits him and what keeps him happy and what he wants to do. He will never take into consideration another person's wishes, desires, convenience. I don't know if that is that, Alan? Is that a woman thing? I don't know. Or is it just a general person thing? I think women always try to keep everybody else happy. On average, because certainly Darren's dad's wife's not like that at all. She bought a present for us for Isaac's christening. She agreed to get her friend to cook muffins for the buffet. And she asked what type of muffins we would like, and I picked chocolate. She turned up with date and something else. Date and wheaten or something. Oh, I thought these would be better. It was supposed to, that was her contribution, that was her present, that was her gift to us for Isaac's christening, a batch of muffins, and she didn't even get us the ones we wanted. And when it had finished, she packed them all up and took them home with her to take to church instead of letting us keep them, because she got them for, that's just the type of person she is. So she got us something that we didn't want, and then when it was finished she took them away, and that's a gift. She got me wine for a birthday present once. Let me rephrase that. She forgot to get me a birthday present, so she lifted a bottle of wine from her 20 bottles that she has in the house and said, I know you don't drink wine, but I thought I'd get you this. I've got IBS. I can't eat spicy food. For the first birthday I had after Isaac was born, she got me a Moroccan cookbook. Now, if you couldn't be any more obvious that you don't like a person, give them wine when they don't drink wine, and give them a spicy cookbook when they can't eat spicy food. Don't even start me. Right, I'm going to go in. I'm home. I've wizarded the whole way. I shall check in with you guys. I keep saying that and I keep thinking there's something on my t-shirt, but there isn't. I shall speak to you guys later. Hello. It is Wednesday, thank you. I was getting there eventually. We are just heading into town. Darren's taking Isaac to the swimming pool. Hoping to improve his swimming.
I get to try out my new SpongeBob's.
His new SpongeBob swimming shorts. That's Darren, not Isaac. I'm not trying a new hairstyle. I know it's horrible. Just on my rock fit, and my hair's just really greasy, not greasy, sweaty, and a mess. So it's quicker and easier to tie it back so we can get in. And there's just lots happening this week. So today's really apart from Saturday and Saturday at the pool, forget it. It's just full of people. Tomorrow we're hopefully, I've always wanted to go to Derry, which you may know as Londonderry. I'm not sure. It's a city in Northern Ireland. It is originally called Derry, then it was renamed Londonderry
It's second biggest city in Northern Ireland.
with like the takeover of Northern Ireland. Basically, Catholics call it Derry, Protestants call it Londonderry. So I'll tell you both just in case. Because my family, when I did like some genealogy research, my family come from two main places. One of them's Monaghan, which is just over the border into the south of Ireland. I think it's west actually, but just outside the border of what's considered Northern Ireland, UK. And Derry. I didn't know this until I looked back, and just so many of them are from, well, almost all of them come from that kind of area. There is a weird one. My DNA, I did that swab thing. My DNA comes back 60% Irish, 40% Scottish. And the link is, now I didn't know this until I said to my mum, what the hell's this? And she told me, and I had no idea. My granda, my mum's dad, the person that brought him up, so who he would have known as his dad, wasn't his actual real dad. I think, and I can't be 100% sure, I think his real dad was in the army and got my granda's mum, my great grandmum, got her pregnant and then just skedaddled, left, and then she met the man that would go on to bring up my granddad. Now he was Scottish, his real father was Scottish, and we know nothing. Obviously my granddad's not here to ask any questions, and I don't think he would appreciate me asking stuff about that anyway. He was a very private man. He used to refer to chat shows as people airing their dirty linen in public, and he hated it, because I used to like to watch Oprah and all that stuff. He didn't like it. God love him if he had a scene. What's your man that died? No, well, Jesus, I hated that. The American dude, Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Oh, he'd have died if he'd seen that. Oprah was bad enough for him. People airing their dirty linen in public, that's ridiculous. So he probably wouldn't have told me that much, but then I found out that I think his real name was Seamus. And I'm like, what? So why is he Jimmy? Why is he James? Was Isaac's middle name's after my granddad, James?
Could have been Seamus then.
Oh, no, I wouldn't have given him that. No. There's a thing. I shouldn't say I don't like. Well, personally for me, if you do it, fair enough. I don't like when kids are named for their parents and you get junior stuck on the end, or if you're in America you get like the second, the third stuck on the end, because that's not giving that child their own identity. They're their father's son. It's usually dads with their sons, but I have seen it happen with mothers and their daughters. And I have seen like maybe a loved one that has passed, like a grandparent or something, or maybe a close friend, they will name a child for. Now, if that's floats your boat, fine. I think it's really nice as a middle name to pay tribute to someone that's gone, because we don't really use our middle names, but it's there and it's a tribute. And then your child's got their own identity and their own name. But the point of me bringing that up was, if my granddad had had a really horrible name, I wouldn't have used it. I wouldn't have put that up on Isaac. Example, my mum, if she had have been a boy, her name was going to be Manassas. That's an Irish name. It's a very popular, years ago, it's a really, really popular male Irish name. It just reminds me of molasses. Manassas. Now, when I did my family research, I remember my mum telling me that, and me said, what? And she says, oh yeah, her granddad was called that, or something like that. And when I did the research, there's probably at least 10 Manassases in my family tree. So obviously it was a name that was used a lot in our family. If I was male, I was going to have just as imaginative a name as I've got now. I was going to be called Paul. I mean, as my mum got the least imaginative, I mean, Lisa and Paul, I don't think there's much more common in either side. If Isaac had been a girl, he was going to be Isabella, because I like Bella, so he would have just been called Bella. But the full name would have been Isabella.
It's basically Isaac, the feminine version.
But what I didn't realise, and this is weird, and that name just come, like Darren will tell you, we don't know any. I just love the name. It came from nowhere. And when I did my family research, the most popular female name in my past in my family is Isabella. And I had no idea. No idea. So that's weird, that one. So Isaac's name is after, his middle name is Isaac James, so it's after his granddad. It's like, I remember asking like Darren's mum what her middle name was, because Darren's mum's first name's Rita. It's a very old-fashioned name, is Rita. And I thought, right, what's her middle name? It's Maud, it's worse. No offence to Darren's mum's name, but Rita and Maud are very, and his grand's name, Vera. So it's like one of those really old, flowery, old lady names, you know what I mean?
My mum's mum's Julie.
That's nice. Julia. I like that. But, you know what I mean, to me, Maud and Vera are akin to Manassas. They're just...
My dad's middle name is Wilson.
That's awful. You see, but that... It's not good, but when I hear Wilson, all I think is Castaway and the Ball. That's what Wilson is to me now, but before Castaway, it's like, his name's what? That's like a surname to me. Wilson is a surname. I suppose it's different. It's better to have a name that's a little bit unique. Like Isaac has, I don't think there's any other Isaacs in his year at school, which is ridiculous, because when I went to school there were 4 Lisa's just in my class, never mind the whole year group. I don't think how many. It's the most common name. Don't like it. But
Lisa!
exactly. That's what used to happen. In the summer holidays, when I used to go downtown with my mum and granny shopping once a week, I would be at the other side of Primark or something, looking at something. And obviously with me being a child, I want a child, because I remember being embarrassed, so I had to have been in my early teens. I'd have been about Isaac's age. And I'd be at the far end of the shop and my granny, Lisa! They didn't call me Lisa, they called me Lisa.
Lisa.
Lisa! And they would keep shouting it until I got there, so I had to get there really quick to shut them up.
That worked then.
So embarrassing.
There's this person named Grandma from my school, they go to my school site. Her little sister has a really weird name.
What's-
Shifra.
Well, you don't think Side's a weird name?
Shifra's weirder.
Let me spell this for you. Isaac went all through primary school. He now goes to secondary school with, although not in her class, which I'm quite glad, because she's turned into a right little cow. She's the one that said snitches get stitches. Her name is Scythe. It's pronounced like the thing that you cut hay with in a field, a scythe, like the Grim Reaper has. It's spelt S-A-D-H-B-H. Her little sister is called Shifra. I've no idea how that's spelled, because I've never seen it written down.
Shifra.
But they're proper, yes, Shira. They're like proper Irish names, and I was determined I was not giving Isaac a really Irish name. And I'm glad I didn't, because now we're back in Ireland.
Like potato.
It's not funny. What, you was going to be called Ayob?
Yeah.
There's so many. Like, there's a name, if you're a fan of X Factor in the UK, there's a name Owen. Now, that's not O-W-E-N, that is A-O-G-H-A-N. That's how it's spelled. It looks like Eogan. It's pronounced Owen. So many of them. The other one is Oren, which is spelled O-D-H-R-A-N. Again, loads of them. Caden, which is spelled quite a few ways, but C-A-E-D-A-N and K-A-Y-D-E-N. But anything that's like very Irish, loads of people have it. So I'm glad we didn't go down. Darren's suggestion was Hitler and Kermit. No, sorry, Adolf. Adolf and Kermit, that was his suggestions.
Why Adolf?
Because I was leaving it to you.
Because I thought it was funny. No, you were leaving it to me, my arse. I suggested
No.
about 8 names that
Yeah.
you vetoed.
Still letting you pick them.
No, I don't like that. Don't like that. Don't
Yeah, but
like
that's what you do. You have a conversation about it. I was letting you come up with a name.
I dreamt the name.
So I just bunged in any old Kermit. I'd seen a picture of Kermit.
I dreamt the name Isaac James, and I thought, if he says no to this, there's going to be a fight. dreamt it and it was perfect.
There was no need to hit me before you started telling me.
I didn't hit. People will take you seriously. So I'd liked Dylan, but I'm really happy we didn't go with Dylan because now there's another boy that he went through primary school with called Dylan. Yeah, Dylan's a nice name, but I'm glad we didn't go. And what put me off, and I didn't think about it at the time, was the double D, Dylan Davy. No, and I'm sitting going, oh, 2 Ds, that's stupid. Not thinking Darren Davy, his dad, Derek Davy. I just didn't like the double D. I didn't like it, and don't say a word.
I'm not going to say that's a pair of double Ds in itself. I would not say that.
So Aaron was another one I really liked. Noah was one I liked, but Darren says, can you imagine in Yorkshire called Noah?
No.
But I had chosen a name, and we both really liked it, and it was, you will appreciate this, Alan, if you're watching, it was Marley, from my favourite book, A Christmas Carol. Loads of people call their dog Marley, but I loved Marley. I thought it was such an unusual name, like there's Bob Marley, so people probably think that was why. But round the corner from where we used to live was a sewage works, and it was called Marley Sewage Works, and I couldn't do it. I thought, no, I can't.
Well, if we'd have stayed there, Isaac being named after the shit
after
factory.
a local sewage factory,
Yeah.
but Marley was the name I really liked. But we had no intention at that time of ever moving back to Ireland. It was just family breakdown that we ended up doing it, but I still love the name Marley. I think it's really nice. But anyway, we're going to the swimming pool. Well, they're going to the swimming pool. I'm going to go in and sit with my mum. Mystery, which I have to go in and solve today. The phone rang this morning, and it was my mum's number. And Darren says, I'm sure that's your mum's number that's just called. And when I answered it, it hung up. So I phoned it back, and it just rang and rang and rang and rang and rang. And I'm thinking, oh Jesus, what's going on? So I got onto Alexa and did the drop-in. Thankfully it was working, and my mum was up and in the living room, and I'm like, did you phone me? No, because I knew my mum doesn't have the dexterity to phone by herself, so I couldn't figure out what had happened.
Maybe it wasn't Amber.
And it was, I said, because I 1471'd it. Darren says, I'm sure it is, and I double checked it. And I says, is the phone with you in the living room, or has my dad got it? It's here, but I don't know whether it's there or not. But so for some reason my mum's number called me this morning, and she says the phone's sitting beside her and she hasn't touched it. So it's a mystery. So do you want to drop me off at my mum's, and then you take the car round to the pool and park in the car park?
No, you can just drop us off and walk there.
You sure?
Yeah, it's on the corner.
Right.
Don't you mind walking around from your mum? It's not far. 2-minute walk.
Oh, drop you. So I'll go and she'll appreciate the company for an hour. Then we're going to go and see if we can pick up a pair of school shoes for Isaac and a pair of Crocs, just so he's got something for his feet if we go to the pool on holiday. Could probably do with another pair of trainers actually, because he's only got one like really decent pair, and he's going to need more than one pair of something for his feet on holiday.
Crocs.
No,
Isaac, you don't
the
wear
last
Crocs
time
for
that
walking,
your dad bought you really nice Crocs, they
Official
were
Crocs.
Darth Vader Crocs.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, when are you putting that
They are.
wetsuit on that?
Well, the Crocs are up.
Well, put the wetsuit up, because if you put it up any other time of year, you've no chance. I don't even think that wetsuit was ever worn. It's a Batman one. And like we don't really go to the beach that much. We don't get the weather. So it's had like wetsuits, and it's like worn them once for scouts and then never again. So you get about a tenner for them on eBay. A tenner's better in our pockets than somebody else's. I'll have to get petrol tonight, 83 miles. So if we're going to Derry tomorrow, that might be really boring. I just want to go to the city that really my family's from.
Shall I give you some Derry facts?
You can.
It was called Derry, and then the English and Scots came over and landed to claim it as their own, and they took over Derry and built a wall around it,
Yeah,
and it's still the only walled city in the UK.
I knew that. It's medieval.
But when they walled it all off, they then renamed it Londonderry to annoy the people that had already called it Derry.
Well, it was always called Derry from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but now it's called they called it Londonderry when they walled it off. But
It wouldn't be like the British to come in and take over other people's countries, would it?
and that's where the Ulster Scots come from.
The Empire. See, the Commonwealth Games is under threat. To be quite honest, I'm not surprised that Australia said, what, 6 billion for the Commonwealth Games, which is really just like a celebration of a country taking loads of other bloody countries
we
over.
can't quite do the Olympics or do Commonwealth.
Anytime someone's dairy, all I can think of is milk.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go. Oh, I'll just end on this because he's reminded me. That hair thing that we sent away, did I talk to you about that? Me and Darren sent away hair samples to find out about food intolerances and allergies. And mine came back with silver, which I knew I had an allergy to, and like, was it blueberries or blackberries? Which again, I knew I had an issue with. Darren's came back with gluten, which he knew, but his and mine both came back with 100% lactose. I'm thinking, you what? And Darren was getting all this really horrible bloating, and he's cut out most dairy, and it's really helped. People say, oh, it's a lot of rubbish, it's a lot of rubbish. Well, they got things that we already knew were issues for us. They showed. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, I'm in the wrong place, I'm going to have to go out.
Why?
Because I'll drive you around.
No, I walk round.
No, it'll take you like a good 10 minutes to walk around.
Just no, it's only over there.
I've went into my mum's because I'm on autopilot because I'm talking right rubbish.
Poor weenie, she'll be all confused now.
Hello, Josephine. Right, I'll switch this off. So anyway, that I recommend if you want to do it. It's like a food intolerances, and it tests your thyroid and all that palaver.
I drank so much milk.
Darren loves milk. And since he's cut it out, it's really helped. I haven't cut it out. It does say on it, it doesn't mean that you can no longer have it, but it is showing up as a marker, or a sensitivity marker. I don't drink a lot of milk though. I have maybe 2 cups of coffee a day at most, and I have milk in that. And since I've started being careful what I eat, I haven't been having cereal because cereal's really, yeah, it's high calorie. So, yeah, right, I've talked rubbish for 17 minutes, so I better go. I shall speak to you guys later. Hello. It is Saturday. We're just taking a quick trip into town. Yeah, I'm still wearing the same t-shirt. It's been like 4 days now. People like that change every day. It's like, no. If it didn't stink and it's not dirty, I'm wearing it. There you go. That's my philosophy for you. Just really to get out of the house. What it is, somebody that I know posted a picture of TKMaXX. Now, she lives in Ballymena. I don't know if it was just a general online picture of TKMaXX or if it was the Ballymena one, but all their Halloween stuff's in, and they've got a ton of snow globes, and I just want a nosy.
And they all normally get one of each bloody item, and that's it.
I don't know. It's in loads of places, but that's what happens when you go looking for Halloween stuff in TKMaXX. It's all gone. It's all sold. So I want to have a look at it.
It's a low cloud.
What was I going to say? And they've got like these trainers that maybe I want to get Isaac a pair of like lightweight trainers to take on holiday, so that he's got a couple of pairs. You know, like in case a pair get wet and stuff. He's got Crocs to bring for the pool and stuff like that. So we shall see. It started raining again. Can't think of an. Oh, I'll tell you about this. Isaac went yesterday to what's it called? We Are Vertigo. It was Robert, that's the kid that does Scouts. It was his 13th birthday. He's a year older than all the rest of them in his year. And they went in, there was about 5 of them. But for some reason, Robert's dad decided he was doing it. Are there We Are Vertigos in England, or is that an Irish thing? It's a trampoline park, basically. It's an inflatable park, and they've got like Ninja Warrior courses and stuff. And oh, that ear is so. I must get you to look at the back of this ear later on. And he was going up the Ninja Wall. Maybe if you watch the UK Ninja Warrior program at the end, they run up a wall that's like almost shaped like a wave when you're surfing. It's like that. Like when you use those skateboard parks, it's like a ramp like this, half pipe. And anyway, he tried to do it, he didn't do it right, and he has torn his Achilles tendon. So thankfully, Callum was there. I've told you about Callum before. He's a little lad that's got really severe allergies. He was there with his brother. And when they go anywhere, the parents or a parent has to go with them because it's that severe an allergy, it could kill them. They were there, so their mum and dad was there, and it's usually only one parent would be there, but this specific day both parents were there. So the dad took Robert's dad to A&E in Antrim, which was probably about 25-30 miles away, and then it left the mum with all the kids out on this day out. Thankfully her car was a 7-seater, so it's big enough to fit everyone in to drop all the kids back. She ended up taking all the kids back to her. I think she thought, well, it's Robert's birthday, his mum's working, his dad's up in A&E getting a cast put on. He's got a cast for 8 weeks. Climbing up bloody ninja wall, what's he like? But so she took them all back to her house. Isaac wasn't back till like 8 o'clock last night, and she bought them all their dinner up there. And the thing that's like, it's like, oh god, her kids can't eat the stuff there, again allergies, so they always bring everything. She brings their food with her from home, and she ended up paying for the kids' dinner. Now I did notice Robert's mum said in the text, let me know how much I owe you, but I know that woman won't take any money off anyone for that. But honest to God, it's a good job they were there, because those kids, I mean, he couldn't drive because of the injury. If the other parent wasn't there, it would have been one of us lot having, and our car's not big enough, so that I needed 2 lots of parents to go up. So if you'd planned to do anything for the day, you'd be screwed. So that was what happened yesterday. Is there any other news I haven't thought about?
Tomorrow.
Isaac's going to somewhere called Airtastic tomorrow, which there's like loads of, what is it, like arcade machines, and there's an inflatable park there. Please don't injure yourself, Isaac. We're going on holiday in like 3 weeks. So it just shows you, like I said to Isaac yesterday, be really careful not to do anything silly and injure yourself. And look what happened. The dad injured himself, so it just shows it can happen. Next week, Isaac's got a gaming convention on the Saturday. I'm not sure if there's anything through the week. Can't think of anything of any note. There probably is stuff, but I'm trying to sort of get into my brain into thinking about holiday mode, to think about what we need to pack in case we've forgotten stuff. I know we've got loads of international plugs because plug sockets are different. We've got a couple of, what are they called, power banks, so that we can charge our mobiles when we're out, things like that. We've got little backpacks, we've got our suitcases, we've got just little bits and bobs that you need. So fingers crossed all goes to plan. That'll be in a few weeks, and yeah, I shall switch off now. There's nothing else to tell you, and if they have the Halloween section in TKMaXX, I'll do a bit of filming for you so you can see what they've got.
Innocence is fragile like the wind. Cold hearts can tear it down. It's
Hello, it is Sunday. We're just on the way into my mum's. There's that thing sticking again that apparently it doesn't stick. Isaac has gone for the day to Ertastic with Ruben. We won't be back until about 7ish. What else can I tell you? I told you about Benny tearing his Achilles, so let's hope that Isaac manages. Ertastic is similar to where Vertigo. It's like a trampoline park, but they also have like arcade machines and stuff like that for them to waste lots of money. So we shall see how he got on. Hopefully he doesn't hurt himself, that's the only hope. It's getting closer. What date are we on today?
23rd.
We're on the 23rd, we go away on the 16th, so it's like 3 weeks. So we're hoping that we can all manage to get to that point without being sick or hurting ourselves. My mum, in her wisdom, stuck a Q-tip in her ear and has bunged up her ears. My dad's got really bad hearing anyway, so the last time I was at my mum's, everybody was shouting at each other, "What?" And like, you just can't, because everything's shouting, and I've got good hearing, and it's just really frustrating when everybody's shouting at each other. But because my mum, one side of her body's very weak, it's almost paralysed, it's so weak, and she's constantly like this on one side. It's much worse than that, it's like almost fully bent over, and the ear that's pointing up is the ear that's blocked. So she's been putting Otex in it for about 4 days, 5 days maybe, but the problem is she can't do that, she can't sit upright. So I have to somehow, I've got like an ear syringe just that you squirt water in, I have to somehow squirt water in, but with her head like this, I have no idea how that's going to work. So I'll have to get Darren to give me a hand, but I don't know if he can maybe like try and hold her a little bit more straight and hold the thing. I don't know, it may take 3 of us. We shall see. My mum's not the easiest of patients either, so if anything's going wrong, she'll...
You fighting it, Donnell with a jumper? Or was it a jacket?
It was Dunn's and with a coat. My mum's just so badly sort of like, it's got to the point that her entire back now is completely misshapen. It's like bent, and she's got like a hump, not a hump, well it is sort of like a lump at the top because of her whole positioning. So getting this ear done, the problem is anywhere that you go to get your ears done now, they make you lie down, and my mum can't get out of her chair or can't be transferred. So if we can't sort this out for her, I don't know how to get it, so because doctors won't do it anymore. So that's what she gets for sticking it. She told me she did, but I can't see her having the dexterity to even get the thing in her ear. So I've no idea. So we're going to try and sort that out today. I won't have you wait about to find out what happened, because that's not right. I'll put a wee text thing at the bottom to let you know if we were successful or not. And I shall sign off the vlog for this week. Next week, Darren's going for a discussion about a tattoo he's wanted to get. What else?
It's my birthday tattoo.
Yeah.
It's just been put off. With other things going on, I've had to keep
That's Darren's casual reminder that I'm paying for it.
That's not what is it, bloody envelope on
Yeah, but I said I would pay so much towards it. Depends how much it bloody is. Are you wise going for a tattoo before we go? I'll take it you're just having a discussion, because you know a tattoo takes healing and all that, and you don't want to get sun on a fresh tattoo.
Yeah, it'll take a few weeks to heal.
We're going away in 3 weeks. I wouldn't get one close to when we're going, because it takes a while to heal, and it's uncomfortable. And you want to be putting sunscreen on and stuff. I would wait till you get back, personally. So that's it. We'll have to have Ruben down for a day, because Paula's had him for a day and she's taking him out today. Apparently Daniel's having him up on Tuesday, but I don't think Daniel's asked his mum yet. He's going to a convention next Saturday. I tell you what, I wish my social life was like that when I was his age. I wish my social life was like that now. Right, somebody stopped to pick someone up. This is where you don't like overtaking people, because you're like, are they going to drive off before I drive past? Our our plate. So yeah, nothing to tell you about this week. The social worker will probably phone again to sort out what's going on with this Dalriada hospital, but it's going to be finding time when we can actually, at the minute the only day I think that is Thursday or Friday, because is your chat on the Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'm in at my mum's on the Tuesday, so it's probably, if she calls this week, it has to be Thursday or Friday. So I'll let you know as always, but there's no like days out planned this week. I know we had the day to Rathlin, then we had the day to Derry, and the week before that we had the day out to Belfast, which I vlogged for you, badly, but I vlogged for you. So nothing really planned of any interest this week, nothing coming out in the cinema. I want to see Oppenheimer, but I know Isaac won't sit through it because it's 3 hours long and people have said it's just loads of talking, but everyone I know that saw it says it's fantastic, it's really good. So we'll maybe get to see that in the